Come all you maidens, young and fair, all you that are blooming in your prime, always beware and keep your garden fair. Let no man steal away your time, for time it is a precious thing, and time brings all things to my mind. Time with all its labors, along with all its joys. Time brings all things to my mind. Once I had a bunch of time. I thought it never would decay. On came a lusty sailor who chanced to pass that way. He stole my bunch of time away. The sailor gave to me a rose that never would decay. He gave it to me to keep me well-minded of when he stole my time away. So come all you maidens, young and fair, all you that are blooming in your prime, always beware and keep your garden fair. Let no man steal away your time.
It's of a brave young highwayman, his story we will tell. His name was Willie Brennan, and in Ireland he did dwell. 'Twas on the Kilworth mountains he commenced his wild career, and many a wealthy nobleman before him shook with fear. And it's Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, bold, brave and undaunted was young Brennan on the moor. One day upon the highway as Willie went down, he met the mayor of Cashel, a mile outside the town. The mayor, he knew his features, and he said, "Young man," said he, "your name is Willie Brennan, you must come along with me." And it's Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, bold, brave and undaunted was young Brennan on the moor. Now Brennan's wife had gone to town, provisions for to buy, and when she saw her Willie, she commenced to weep and cry. Said, "Hand to me that 10 as soon as Willie spoke." She handed him a blunderbuss from underneath her cloak for young Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, bold, brave and undaunted was young Brennan on the moor.
Now with this loaded blunderbuss that I will unfold, he made the mare to tremble and he robbed him of his gold. 100 pounds was offered for his apprehension there, so he went horse and saddle to the mountains did repair.
Did young Brennan on
minstrel boy to the war is gone. In the ranks of death you will find him. His father's sword he has girded on, and his wild harp slung behind him. Land of song, say the warrior bard, though all the world betrays thee, one sword at least thy rights shall guard, one faithful harp shall praise thee. The minstrel fell, but the foeman's chain could not bring that proud soul under. The harp he loved ne'er spoke again, for he tore its cords asunder, and said, no chain shall sully thee, thou soul of love and bravery. Thy songs were made for the pure and free, they shall never sound in slavery.
Come single bell and bow, and to me pay attention. Don't ever fall in love, it's the devil's own invention. For once I fell in love with the maiden so bewitching, Miss Henrietta Bell out of Captain Kelly's kitchen. With me tooralora-la, tooralora-laddie, me tooralora-la, tooralora-laddie. At the age of 17 I was prenticed to a grocer, not far from Stephen's Green, where Miss Henry used to go, sir. Her manners were sublime, and she set me heart a twitching, and she invited me to a holy in the kitchen. With me tooralora-la, me tooralora-laddie, me tooralora-la, tooralora-laddie. Next Sunday being the day we were to have the flare-up, I dressed myself quite gay, and I frizzed and oiled me hair up. The captain had no wife, faith he had gone a-fishing, and we kicked up high life down below stairs in the kitchen. With me tooralora-la, me tooralora-laddie, me tooralora-la, tooralora-laddie. Just as the clock struck 6, we sat down to the table. She handed tea and cake, and I ate while I was able. I drank hot punch and tea till me side had got to stitching, and the hours passed quick away when you're courting in the kitchen. With your tooralora-la, hey, tooralora-laddie, hey, tooralora-la, tooralora-laddie. With me arms around her waist, she slyly hinted marriage. To the door in dreadful haste came Captain Kelly's carriage. Her eyes soon filled with hate, and poison she was spitting, when the captain at the door walked right into the kitchen. With me tooralora-la, me tooralora-laddie, me tooralora-la, tooralora-laddie. She flew up off me knees, full 5 feet up or higher, and over head and heels threw me slap into the fire. Me new repealer's coat that I bought from Mr. Mitchell, with a 20-shilling note, went to blazes in the kitchen. With me tooralora-la, me tooralora-laddie, me tooralora-la, tooralora-laddie. I grieved to see me duds all smeared with soot and ashes, when a tub of dirty suds right in my face she dashes. As I lay on the floor and the water she kept pitching, the footman broke the door and walked straight into the kitchen. With me tooralora-la, me tooralora-laddie, me tooralora-la, tooralora-laddie. When the captain came downstairs, though he saw my situation, in spite of all my prayers, I was marched off to the station. For me they'd take no bail, but to get home I was itching. But I had to tell the tale how I came into the kitchen. With me tooralora-la, me tooralora-laddie, me tooralora-la, tooralora-laddie. I said she did invite me, but she gave a flat denial. For assault she did indict me, and I was sent for trial. She swore I robbed the house, in spite of all her screeching, and I got 6 months hard for me curtain in the kitchen. With me tooralurala, tooralurala-dee, tooralurala, tooralurala-dee. There was Johnny McEldew and McGee and me, and a couple or two or three went on the spree one day. We had a bob or two which we knew how to blew, and the beer and whiskey flew and we all felt gay. We visited McCann's, Michael-a-Man's, Humpty Dan's. We then went into Swan's, our stomachs for to pack. We ordered out to feed, which indeed we did need, and we finished it with speed, but we still felt slack. Johnny McEldew turned as blue as a Jew, and a plate of Irish stew he soon put out of sight. He shouted out in core with a roar for some more that he never felt before, such a keen appetite. He ordered eggs and ham, bread and jam, what a cram. But him we couldn't ram, though we tried our level best. For everything we brought, cold or hot, mattered not. It went down him like he shot, but he still stood the test. He swallowed tripe and lard, by the yard we got scarred. We thought it would go hard when the waiter brought the bill. Told him to give o'er, but he swore he could lower twice as much again and more before he had his fill. He nearly supped the trough full of broth, says McGrath. He'll devour the tablecloth if you don't howl him in. When the waiter brought the charge, McEldew felt so large, he began to scold and barge, and his blood went on fire. He began to curse and swear, tear his hair in despair, and to finish the affair, called the shopman a liar. Shopman he drew out, and no doubt he did clout McEldew. He kicked about like an owl football, tattered all his clothes, broke his nose. I suppose he would have killed him with a few blows, no time at all. McEldew began to howl and to growl by Miss Owl. He threw an empty bowl at the shopkeeper's head, struck by Mickey Flynn, peeled the skin off his chin, and the ructions did begin, and we all fought and bled. Peelers did arrive, man alive, 4 or 5. At us they made a drive for us all to march away. Paid for all the meat that we ate, stood a trait, and went home to ruminate on the spree that day.
I was born in a Dublin street where the Loyals rumps did beat, and those loving English feet, they walked all over us. Oh, and nearly every night when me dad would come home tight, he'd invite the neighbours out with this fine chorus.
Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Oh, and how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killashandra.
Come, let us hear you tell how you slandered great Parnell when you thought him well and truly persecuted. Where are the sneers and jeers that you loudly let us hear when the leaders of 16 were executed?
Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Oh, and how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killashandra.
Come tell us how you slew them all Arabs 2 by 2. Like the Zulus they had spears and bows and arrows. How bravely you faced one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened them all natives to the marrow.
Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Oh, and how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killashandra.
Now the time is coming fast, and I think those days are here when those English Johnnies' heels will run before us. Oh, and if there be a need, then our kids will say Godspeed with a verse or two of singing this fine chorus.
Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Oh, and how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killashandra.
Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Oh, and how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Hilleshandra.
In 1916, the forces of the Crown to capture orange, white and green bombarded Dublin town. In 21, Britannia's Huns were forced to wear their pay when the black and tans like lightning ran from the rifles of the IRA. They burned their way through Ulster and laid Leinster on the rack. Through Connaught and through Munster marched those men in brown and black. They shut down wife and children in their own heroic way. Then the black and tans like lightning ran from the rifles of the IRA. They hanged young Kevin Barry High, a lad of 18 years. Cork City's flames lit up the sky, but our brave men knew no fear. The Cork Brigade with hand grenades in ambush waiting lay. Then the black and tans like lightning ran from the rifles of the IRA. The tans were taken out and shot by a brave and fearless few. Sean Tracy, Denny Lacy and Tom Barry's famous crew. We're not free yet, but we won't forget until our dying day, when the black and tans like lightning ran from the rifles of the IRA. We're not free yet, but we won't forget until our dying day, when the black and tans like lightning ran from the rifles of the IRA.
Years ago, me father left old Erin shore. He landed his shillelagh in hand and divil a penny more. He got a job and then a wife and then a family, but ups he dies and left his old shillelagh stick to me. Sure it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland, and divil a man was prouder than he as he walked with it in his hand. He used to take it to bed with him, he'd never part with it, and divil a bit we'd laugh at it, poor Dad would have a fit. Sure with the same old shillelagh me father could lick a dozen men. As fast as they got up, he'd knock 'em down again. And many's the time he used it on me, but I make me understand. It's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. I'm going on the police force, it's the only thing to do. Instead of having one night stick, big Gutty, I'll have two. If there's a fight, I'll do it right, no one will bother me. I'll have the old shillelagh stick me father left to me. Sure it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland, and divil a man was prouder than he as he walked with it in his hand. He used to take it to bed with him, he'd never part with it, and divil a bit we'd laugh at it, or Dad would have a fit. Sure with the same old shillelagh me father could lick a dozen men. As fast as they got up, he'd knock 'em down again. And many's the time he used it on me, for to make me understand. It's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. Ginny Dugan gave a party, sure it ended in a brawl. Poor Callahan was in a chair when they threw it through the wall. Muldoon cried out, "'Tis very plain that peace will have to be, or else I'll use the stick me dear old father used of me." Sure it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland,
And Dibble the man was prouder than he as he walked with it in his hand.
he used to take it to bed with him, he'd never part with it.
And nibble a bit, we'd laugh at it, for Dad would have a fit.
Sure with the same old shillelagh me father could lick a dozen men. As fast as they got up, he'd knock 'em down again. And many's the time he used it on me for to make me understand. It's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland.
In a neat little town they call Belfast, apprentice to trade I was bound, and many an hour sweet happiness have I spent in that neat little town. A sad misfortune came over me, which caused me to stray from the land, far away from me friends and relations, betrayed by the Black Velvet Band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. I took a stroll down Broadway, meaning not long for to stay, when who should I meet but this pretty fair maid come a-traipsing along the highway. She was both fair and handsome, her neck it was just like a swan, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. I took a stroll with this pretty fair maid, and the gentleman passing us by, well, I knew she meant the doing of him by the look in her roguish black eye. A gold watch she took from his pocket and placed it right into my hand, and the very first thing that I said was, "Bad cess to the Black Velvet Band." Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Before the judge and the jury, next morning I had to appear. The judge, he says to me, "Young man, your case it is proven clear. We'll give you 7 years penal servitude to be spent far away from the land, far away from your friends and relations, betrayed by the Black Velvet Band." Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. So come all you jolly young fellows, a warning take by me. When you are out on the town, me lads, beware of the pretty colleens. They'll feed you with strong drink, me lads, till you are unable to stand. And the very first thing that you'll know is you've landed in Van Diemen's Land. Her eyes just like a swan, and her hair and tongue over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. What's the news? What's the news? Oh, me bold Shelmalier, with your long-barreled gun of the sea. Say what wind from the south blows your messenger here, with his hymn of the dawn for the free. Goodly news, do I bring youth of force? Goodly news, shall you hear, Bargy man? For the boys march at dawn from the south to the north, led by Kelly, the boy from Callan. Tell me who is the giant with the gold curling hair, he who strides at the head of your band. 7 feet is his height with some inches to spare, and he looks like a king in command. Army boys, that's the pride of the whole Shelmaliers, amongst our greatest of heroes a man. So fling your beavers aloft and give 3 ringing cheers for John Kelly, the boy from Callan. In a score he's in flames and old Wexford is won, and tomorrow the Barrow we cross. On a hill o'er the town we have planted a gun that will batter the gateway to Ross. All the 4th men and bargemen will march o'er the heath, with brave Harvey to lead in the van. But the foremost of all in that grim gap of death will be Kelly, the boy from Callan. But the gold sun of freedom grew dark in that cross, and it's set by the slain he's led waves. And poor Wexford stood naked, hung high on a cross, with a heart pierced by traitors and knaves. Glory, oh, to the brave men who died for the cause of long downtrodden man. Glory, oh, to Mount Leinster's own darling and pride, Douglas Kelly, the boy from Callan.
My name is McNamara, I'm the leader of the band. Although we're small in numbers, we're the best in all the land. We play at wakes and weddings and at every fancy ball. And when we play at funerals, we play the march from Saul. Oh, the drums go banging, the cymbals banging, the halls are blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And the Hennessy toodles the fiddle, the music is something grand. A credit to all Island boys, his McNamara's band. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la, tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, la-la-la-la. Hey! Oh, my name is Uncle Eunice, and from Sweden I have come to play with McNamara's band and beat the big bass drum. And when I'm walking down the street, the ladies think I'm grand. They yell, here's Uncle Eunice, play him with an Irish band. Oh, the drums go banging, the cymbals banging, the horns are blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And the Hennessy toodles are filling, the music is something grand. A credit to all Island boys, is McNamara's band.
Maybe someday I'll go back again to Ireland, and my dear old wife would only pass away. She nearly has my heart broke with her nagging. He's got a mouth as big as Galway Bay. See her drinking 16 pints of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Commercial. And then she can walk home without a sway.
If the sea was beer instead of salty water, she would live and die in Galway Bay. See her drinking 16 pints at Pat Joe Murphy's. The barman says, I think it's time to go. Well, she doesn't try to speak to him in Gaelic, in a language that the clergy do not know. On her back she has tattooed a map of Ireland, and when she takes her bath on Saturday, she rubs the sunlight soap around by Claddagh, just to watch the suds flow down by God.